FOXSOUL, our voice, our truth. Black, bold, resilient, powerful.
This song is the best of me.
It's simple. I love it, having you near me and having you here. Our conversations outrageous. When you smile, then I smile, then I say, hey, this is getting personal, personal, personal. Let's stay for a while and play. Girl, let's make this a moment. Ooh. Giving you the best of me. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Having you close to me. Having you close to me. Amazing, amazing, outrageous. Girl. Give your best to me. Good morning. Here's breakfast. We lost track of time, but we had a ball. So let's get you moving. Then, tonight's the night we'll just unwind and stay. Hey, let's stay personal, personal, personal. Let's stay for a while and play such a beautiful moment. Giving you the best of me. Amazing, amazing. Having you close to me. Having you close to me. Amazing, amazing, outrageous. Give your best to me. Giving you the best of me. Giving you the best of me. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Having you close to me. And having you close to me. Amazing, amazing, outrageous. Give your best to me. Oh, 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 giving you the best of me. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Having you close to me. Amazing, amazing, outrageous, outrageous. Give your best to me. Giving you the best of me. Giving you the best of me. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So outrageous. Yeah. Having you close to me. Having you close to me. Amazing, amazing, outrageous. Give your best to me. Simply amazing, baby. Truly outrageous, girl. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Let's make love tonight. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Once you do it right. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Let's make love tonight. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Once you do it right. Yeah. Oh, baby. Simply amazing, baby. You're simply wonderful. Oh, yeah. Amazing. Yeah. best of me.
Thank you.
The Best of Me is a song actually that I really didn't like in the beginning because it was so different. It was so musical. It was so laid back and soft in terms of the texture and what it felt like. I felt like I was getting out of my lane, and it was produced by Jarius Mosey. My trainer at the time, I was working with a trainer, Trish Andrews, and she was like, "That's gonna be your one right there. I promise you." I said, "For real? You think so?" It wasn't as soulful as what I wanted to express. So when I got to the bridge of the song, uh, uh, it was me rushing through it. I was like, it don't need no words. I was kind of grumpy because I wanted to get that song over with. But one day, after finishing it, Michael Basin started playing that on the radio, and it became a huge, huge hit. And I was like, wow. I'm so glad that I'm so glad I kept it. And people believed in it, which made me believe in it more. So the best of me came from some of the worst of me, right? Who is Anthony Hamilton? Oh, man, so many layers to that. Southern, um, from North Carolina, father of six, a lover of all things possible, positive, and beautiful. It's a down home boy. Uh, church, enriched in church and soul. He's a people person. He's a healer. He's someone that you can come up to and talk to, and really see that he's genuinely there. I think he's a great guy, if I have to say so myself. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful city. It's where I was born and raised. Started dreaming there very early on, and it helped to develop who I am today. Coming up in Charlotte, North Carolina, everything was slow. It was a slow pace, and everything was, kind of measured out. Your weeks are this. Everybody goes to work, and then Sunday everybody goes to church, and in between that you dream and you think of things that you don't have. The city has allowed me space and time to do that, to dream and create it. You have me, you have Horace Brown, you have Jodeci, you have the baby, Fantasia, Sunshine Anderson. So much talent that's come from there. But it wasn't easy. We had to leave and go to the big city because Charlotte didn't offer a way out for musicians at the time. In the beginning, there was talent shows, school talent shows around the city, just to be heard. I wanted people to know that I had this gift and that I was really passionate about it, and trying to see who would hear me, and if someone heard me, did they have access to the next level of what I was doing. Back then, there wasn't a lot of outlets, wasn't a lot, to do musically, to get heard. I think everything was in New York, and LA. But there was a guy by the name of Mark Sparks who had been to New York, back and forth to New York. He got a wind of what I was doing. I was singing. His cousin by the name of Chop, who's one of my best friends, introduced me to Mark. And he had worked with Salt and Pepper. He did Shoot for Salt and Pepper. He had worked with Mary J. Blige, Grand Poobah, and a lot of other artists. And so when I met him, things changed. Prior to that, I was in the barbershop, just cutting hair and singing every song on the radio and still dreaming. I knew that I had to leave Charlotte at that time because, it didn't offer me the opportunities that I felt like would change my life. But meeting Mark Sparks, that helped. It got me my first record deal at Uptown MCA with Jimmy Jenkins, Andre Harrell, Puffy. All those guys were still there. And so that's when the music really started to work out for me. Hey, what's up? Anthony Hamilton here. Stay tuned for more tracks and tales. Charlotte had already had success with Jodeci. Jodeci was on Uptown MCA, and then Horace Brown, who's from Charlotte, was also on Uptown MCA, and it made it even more important to be signed to that label because I wanted to be a part of that, and I loved what they were doing with Jodeci and Mary J. Blige and everybody. It was just on fire. Um, it just changed my life, man. It just being signed there was like, okay, you are amongst the elite, the best in the business right now, and this is it. You're on your way. That deal fell apart because of MCA and Uptown having their differences, and Andre Harrell and Jimmy Jenkins. They fought hard to try to get me, to go with them, but MCA wanted to keep me. But I knew then, I had made it this far. Something had to change. I didn't know how and when and what, but something had to change. But being there, man, you felt like you could do anything. You felt like, okay, this is the best. I was excited, a little nervous at times, because being so close to fame and superstars, it's like, wow, do I really have it? Do I really, really, really have what it takes? And you second guess and you doubt, but you keep going. Andre Harrell, when I first met him, he was real, Joe, your voice, you the next Bill Withers, you the next this, that. He was always into hyping you up and making you feel really good. And he wanted you to be fly. And he wanted you to feel fly. So he'd gas you up. And when I first met him, I had these little twists. I had locks. I was trying to grow these locks. And so I overheard him talking to Jimmy and a few people. It's like, yo, I like this kid, but I think he might have to cut his hair. I can see him in an afro. That same day, I went in the bathroom and chopped my locks off and came back with a little afro. And he was like, my man. But Andre was always an exciting guy. Jimmy was always a funny guy. Tim Dog, all those guys. But Uptown had the best staff and the best people. But it just made you feel empowered. Ecstasy was on Uptown. It was the first album, but never released. Although some people have their hands on it and have a copy of it, but it was never released. But it's one of my best albums, I feel. When Andre left and there was no more Uptown through MCA, MCA, obtained the rights, gained the rights to the music. But at that time, no one had worked on the music side, so they didn't feel connected to it, and so it was kind of shelved. Because back then people were, they wanted credit. Everybody was trying to make it, trying to be something, and they wanted something that they could, show for it. But none of those guys at MCA had worked on that project, so they didn't feel connected to it. They felt like maybe it was a waste of time, and so I was shelved. So I felt like, okay, it's gonna change. Something's got to happen. Something's about to happen. This is not the end. So at that moment, I was okay. I felt like I would be all right. And in the meantime, I would do backgrounds, writing for other people, and just staying, doing backgrounds and making sure I was able to eat and send money back for my son. I had a son at the time. First record that did really, really great was Donnell Jones. You Know What's Up. Ooh, say what, yeah. But being a co-writer on that song was the first time that my music, my writing had really taken off and had shown me that it was successful. I wrote for Tamar, the Braxtons back in the day. I did a really dope remix for them. And Thug's Mansion for Tupac. Why Would Jada Kiss? Yeah, I've done some pretty cool stuff. Remorse with Drake, Lamborghini Doors with Rick Ross and Meek Mill. And Lie to Me for Kim. I wrote a few. Wrote some country stuff. Josh Turner. He and I wrote a duet for he and I, Nowhere Fast. So writing has been, an outlet and a place to go when you want to, get away or paint a different picture. You do it with a pencil and pen.
I can't stay away from you too long. Even if I do, I'll always call. Checking on you, make sure you're okay. And be the one to brighten up your day. Yeah, yeah. And the point of it all is I love you. And you know I love you, baby. My days are long whenever we're apart. It's like someone has stolen away my heart. And you're a major part of my life. And no matter what the storm may bring, I'm fine with you. And the point of it all is I love you. And the reason for it all is I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you, yeah. I love you, girl. Yeah. And I can't stay away too long. I can't stay away from you, baby. I can't stay away. Don't wanna be without too long. And I need you. I can't stay away. Why don't you stay around for a while? I can't stay away too long. And the point of it all, and the point of it all, and the point of it all, and the reason for it all, and the point of it all is I love you, Hey, hey, baby, I love you.
Wow, point of it all. I did this with my people, man. The Avila brothers and Big John. And we were in LA at Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis spot. I was about to leave the studio that night because we had been working and trying to come up with something. And we just couldn't find a groove, couldn't find that moment. But I knew they were talented enough to come up with it. They had done Usher, Confessions, and all that stuff. And on my way out, I put my backpack on my back. And when I was heading out, I was like, well, let's get together tomorrow. And I heard the bass player. He started going, bloom, 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 bloom. I put my book bag down and I walked back in that studio and we created that song, man. And I'm so glad I didn't rush out the door. The point of it all is I love it enough to stay around to see it through. Come celebrate music culture on Tracks and Tales exclusively on FOXSOUL. After being on tour and singing and doing all this stuff, I still hadn't had a successful album release. I still hadn't been introduced to the world, to the masses, and I was just making my way and just still trying to get on, writing, and I was introduced to Londell McMillan a while back, who's an attorney, music attorney. He was having a Grammy brunch. He used to do these Grammy brunches, and he invited me to sing. Meanwhile, I had been in the studio with Mark Batson, who produced Coming From Where I'm From, Charlene, Sister Big Bones, Since I Sent You, like most of all my hits. He'd let me come down to the studio in Lower Manhattan. And so when I got the call to come and do this Grammy brunch, I was like, wow, what am I going to do? I had Coming From Where I'm From. So I was like, okay, I'll do that one. That's how I was feeling, because I was in a place of like, I'm desperate now and I'm starting to get discouraged. Well, I agreed to do the Grammy brunch. I come in this room, that's Alicia Keys, that's Kanye, Kamora Lee, Michael Malden, who's Jermaine Dupri's father, who actually made the call to Jermaine after hearing me sing. Well, before I went on stage, I was introduced on stage by Isaac Hayes, and I came on and I sang the hell out of Coming From Where I'm From. And immediately, Michael Malden called Jermaine Dupri. It's like, hey, me and my son were just having a conversation about bringing older voices back and real singers and real music. And the next day, I was on a call with him, and probably another week, I was doing a showcase at SOBs. And the rest is history. Not having my success and being where I wanted to be with music affected the relationship that ultimately created Charlene. The heartbreak, the pain, the feeling of wanting to not be around anymore. All that stuff came on the downside of my career. And I began to write. That was my way of healing, my way of getting through it, my way of expressing myself. And eventually that became the album, Coming From Where I'm From. Coming From Where I'm From was first off the album to introduce me. And at this moment I had Po Folks. It was on the radio pretty heavy. The Why with Jadakiss was pretty heavy at the time. Thug's Mansion for Tupac, it was really heavy. So Coming From Where I'm From set it up. And then we felt like the next single, Charlene, would really stake my place in the hearts of people. And we put that out. And as the radio started to play it, and it became even more popular, and people requested, and you hear it on the radio twice in an hour. I'm like, wow, this thing is taking off. And when I got the Grammy nomination, 3 Grammy nominations for that album, I knew it was because of Charlene.
Must have told me 1,000 times more. Silent cry. child, it's been my dream. I can't support her, treat her and spoil her. You know I could have been bad, but I forgot about loving her. Damn the money, diamonds and pearls. What about the hard days she had with them babies? All she needs for me to love. Baby, I'll be sitting here waiting on you to come again. I won't be, promise I'll be here to the very end. And I promise I'll be by your side to protect you and to love you and to be with you for life. Come on home to me, Charlene. Promise I can't live without her. God knows I need and I love her. And it hurts so bad that she's gone away. I pray she'll come home one day in my life. Oh no, oh, say baby, I'll be here, sitting here saying I'm waiting on you. I won't leave. Promise I'll be here to the very end. I'll be here for life to protect you and to love you. See, I won't go nowhere. Come on home to me, Charlene. Sometimes I cry. Charlene, if you're listening, could you call on me? My heart is aching without you. Call me, see about me, baby.
Success for me was more so getting the music out and getting the fans, gaining the fans. If they like Charlene, they're gonna really love this other record. It, you know, it humbled me in a way, but it gave me power and energy in another way. Because the people started voting for me. When it came to the radio, they were calling in and requesting. I'm a brand now, just like any other brand, like Nike. I'm here. I'm like the new Chuck Taylor with the star on it. Yeah, it feels good. I feel proud of myself for sticking in, you know, through the hard times, and ultimately I'm excited and I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to putting out new talent. I think the R&B now, I think it's great. I think there's a lot of good stuff. I think you know, kids, they nasty. Man, and they in a rush, they don't make love no more. They just yeah. I love what Lucky Day is doing. I love her. Jasmine Sullivan, I've been a fan of hers since she was 14 in Philly. Daniel Caesar, he's a great writer. Yes, Gibeon. It's a lot of great talent. I love it. The legacy of Anthony Hamilton will live on way past me. It's the music. People love it, and they'll continue to love it when I'm gone. And it'll live through my kids, my 6 sons. Legacy, I want it to be a person who created music, created a space for people to feel again and to love again and to express how they feel. A man who wasn't afraid to be vulnerable. Yeah, a man who wasn't afraid to cry. A man who wasn't afraid to smile and laugh. He was a good guy. He was an awesome dude. And boy, couldn't that boy sing. He was a singing mother sucker. You better believe it.
Yo, what up? This your boy Jay Brown. Make sure y'all stay tuned for more on Tracks and Tales. FOXSOUL, our voice, our truth. And to me, that means everything, because without it, I wouldn't have anything. Jay Brown is a cat from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. Yeah, all my life, you know. So just somebody who strongly believed in his craft, and I've been working at it for quite a while now. So, you know, I've gotten to the point where I can finally say that I'm actually on the right track. Coming up in Detroit, you know, it was a challenge, you know, in a sense. You know, Detroit it can be rough and tough, man, just like any other urban city. But growing up in my city, I know that you know, through perseverance and hard work, you know, God allowed me to get out the trenches in a sense. So, you know, it was definitely not always the easy street, but well worth it at the end of the day. Yeah. So my mom and my aunts, they used to be managed by Smokey Robinson back in the day. And before my mom ended up pregnant with my older brother, you know, they were on their path to actually signing a contract with Berry Gordy. But I'm not gonna say unfortunate, because she was, you know, she brought my brother into the world. But that kind of just ended the situation. It kind of dissolved from there after they found out she was pregnant. So I grew up around listening to stuff like that and being around great singers and Marvelettes. I've been around Smokey Robinson before. I've been around quite a few people. So you know, just listening to those people that I always looked up to has always motivated me, including my mother. And just any greats that you can think of from Motown, that was always my motivation. My mom, she wanted me to do what I wanted to do. I never really thought I would be a singer, but you know, of course, genetics are genetics. So I think from there, I was singing churches and talent shows, and kind of progressed into, you know, making a habit of doing it. But my mom always supported me. Both my mother and my father, they remained married up until my father passed away. So they both were always encouraging and supportive, you know. So long as I was happy, they were happy, you know. My parents, they purchased a piano in our living room, and I would always play around, which I couldn't play. But I was just kind of like, as children, we're curious, so I would just mess around with the keys, and then from there, I would just incorporate certain songs that I would listen to growing up, and I would figure out ways to play them, and kind of taught myself how to play piano in a sense. But I think that was mostly it. That's where that love came from, me playing in my parents' living room, and then it just progressed into me singing in church. And then from there, it just took off. I think it was mostly talent shows. I would do a lot of talent shows. I mean, from the age of, I think, 12, that's when I first started. Didn't win a lot, but you know, it was still it was an experience, you know, to say the least. And I think from there, it just gave me that inspiration. Just, I was self-inspired rather, just to continue on with it, because I started to notice the reaction from certain crowds, and I said, maybe I can pursue this. But of course, life has its fluctuation points. So I got involved in other things because I was in sports and things of that nature. So I wasn't really focused on it like that, but I always did it because I enjoyed it. But I was in a few groups. E2G, there you go. You did your research. But yeah, E2G, that was myself, my cat that's in Day 26 now, and a few other dudes. But we had a little group, and then from there, we had an opportunity to perform for Wyclef, so we drove from Detroit all the way to New York at Platinum Sound, recorded there. Well, actually rehearsed, then we recorded, and then we auditioned. It was kind of backwards. But ultimately, Clef liked us, so he signed us. So I went from Detroit to Jersey to New York. It was basically just guys I knew. Well, some of them I knew. Like, I know Robert from Day 26, I knew him. And another cat, I went to high school with him. The other dude I didn't really know like that. But as time went on, we got to know each other. So, you know, singing is singing. If you can sing, then of course, you know, we'll kind of gel things together. But from there, we just kind of channeled in on everything that we knew in terms of singing and our vocal abilities. And then we just proceeded to, you know, follow our dreams and move to New York. So from there, it just, yeah, it kept going. It was actually just a word of mouth, not even word of mouth, but somebody knew somebody who knew somebody. They knew Clef was looking for a group. And so they just basically said, hey, if you want to audition for this group, man, you know, maybe you can rally together a few cats. I couldn't find anyone. I knew Robert, and from there he found a few other cats. And the cat I knew in Detroit from my high school, he wasn't really pursuing it like that. But then he said, you know what, man, let me give it a shot. So yeah, that's how it came about, man. You know, just rallying everybody together and just heading out to New York. It was an experience. I mean, you know, because, you know, as artists, you know, we get kind of comfortable in a sense, especially starting out. So it's kind of like, oh, we get a record deal, so we made it. But, you know, that's not how it goes. You know, it was mostly just us signing some paperwork. You know, we went there, did some songs. But it was an experience. You know, it was definitely an experience, but it wasn't like that defining moment where we could say we actually made it. But it was still, it was an experience, you know, to say the least.
Now with Clef, did you guys, when you signed to him, did you guys release any music? What
No.
was that process like?
You know, we never released any music. We just recorded like maybe 200 songs, but never put anything out. We recorded with everybody. I mean, everybody in the industry, from people over at Bad Boy to Baseline, which was Jay-Z's spot. Like, we would record with everyone, but never put out anything. So it was just mostly us just recording. I think that it helped me realize that not everything happens in your time. You know, you can be here and think that headed down the path of success, and then only to find out that, hey man, this is not what it seems. Everyone needs that learning experience. I think, because if you go into this, with the intentions of thinking that, I'm gonna become this major star just off top, it's not gonna happen. I mean, I don't care who you are. It could, and I don't want to make anyone feel like it won't. But I think it's best to go through these challenges. The challenges teach you, they make you stronger, and they prepare you for what's to come. Grambling State, I got there just scholarships, basically, And from there, I auditioned for the university choir. So that was something else I did, and I ended up getting another scholarship, outside of the other two I had. And I think that was a great experience, man. So shout out to GSU. My experience at Grambling, that was like that defining moment that I figured, hey man, I've never really done anything solo as a singer. So I did a talent show there, and from that talent show, the response was crazy. So I said, maybe I can pursue this solo-wise. And from there, I went back to New Jersey, was working with Jaheim a lot, and, recording and doing this and that, and still focused on, making it, so to speak. But again, it just turned into another recording situation. So, but Grambling was definitely that. It catapulted me to that next level of believing in myself as a solo artist. You're now checking out one of my new songs, my new single off my new album, Chapter and Verse, Baby I Can. Let's get it. Ooh, oh baby, yeah. Oh, heard you been looking for some real love. Heard you been looking for a man. Heard you been trying to find a friend who understands that you need protection. And sometimes you need space. If he ain't feeding your soul, ain't no reason to stay. 'Cause baby, I can do you. Baby, I can do you. Baby, I can do you. Baby, I can do you better. Baby, I can do you better. Oh, baby, I can do you better. Baby, I can do you better. Baby, Second verse. Let me take away your pain, oh baby, yeah. Let me take away all the drama that's in your life. You need someone who understands, ooh, that you need space. If he ain't feeding your soul, ain't no reason to stay. Baby, I can do you better. Ooh. Baby, I can do you better. Ooh. Baby, I can do you better. Baby, say, baby, I can do you better. Baby, I can do you better. Baby, I can do you better. Baby, yeah. Baby, I can do you better. Baby, I Can. This song basically came from a lot of personal experiences. I have a lot of female friends who were going through a lot of challenging times with their significant others. And one in particular, she was really important to me, really special young lady. And I didn't particularly like the way her ex-boyfriend was treating her. So I would explain to her, all the reasons as to why I could do it better. So I've been knowing her for quite a while. She's a great woman, and she actually took that advice. So yeah, it's my song. Yo, what up? This your boy Jay Brown. Make sure y'all stay tuned for more on Tracks and Tales. Just giving it all you got, that's my thought process, making sure I sing what I want to sing. But again, it doesn't always happen the way you want it to. But my whole thought process was just, man, working as hard as possible so I can put out the type of music that I want the world to hear. Yeah, perseverance is key. I think I stepped away from music for approximately maybe 12, 13 years. And so to come back in the game with a top 10 Billboard charted record, it's obviously God wants me to be in this position because, as much as I try to get away from it, I always found my way back into music. So I think that was another defining moment, just let me know that, or reconfirming that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I think it was just previous experiences, me knowing that I feel like I can actually make it to a certain level, and I haven't reached that level in terms of where I want to be in the industry. So I think just self-motivation, me just saying, I've been here like 4 or 5 times, I've had quite a few deals. I said, why not get back involved in it? Because if God brought me back to it, then clearly I'm supposed to be here. Yeah, so the experience, I've been knowing Tank for like 15 years. So I worked with him before with my previous situation I had with Universal Republic. Since then, we just clicked. Fast forward 2021, we both on the road with Anthony Hamilton and just kind of like reunited. And then from there, he's like, bro, you got to come out to my crib. We got to record some records. I say maybe 2 weeks later, I was out there at his crib, knocking out a bunch of joints. And that was that. So that's like a real friend, like no type of like, I'm hitting up an artist for a feature. Like, no, it's like a dude who legitimately supports my career and somebody I can call all the time. In fact, I just got off the phone with him, so he's a real friend, man, real good dude, humble guy. Definitely one of the GOATs in my opinion. Yeah, I would say a collection of everything you just stated, especially finding my own artists. I think that's like something I've always wanted to do, kind of mold an artist, still allow them to be them, but just help them, hone in on those things that they already have, just to, bring it out, so to speak. So that's the goal, man, to just start my own situation, find my own artist, and just go from there. So the type of music, so I grew up, like I said, the Motown era. So that's my style. I like, in a sense, that's my style. I love that old school feel, the fact that, people falling in love and, people making babies to your music. That's always, been like one of my things in life. That's where I come from. So Chapter and Verses basically is giving you a combination of the old school. When I say old school, I'm referring to like 2000s, and it's fused with like some modern style music. So just heartfelt stuff, man, because I wanted people to not only say, he has dope music, but I wanted people who were not my age to enjoy listening to my music as well, because it's kind of a rarity for like the older folks, to enjoy listening to like a younger guy's music. So I think it was important to me to kind of go back to where I started from and fuse that with a modern sound. So when you listen to Chapter and Verse, it's definitely something that your grandma, your aunts, anybody can listen to, church members. There's no church songs on there, even though considering the name of the album, but it's definitely where I come from. So it's basically a bunch of chapter and verses of my life, incorporated into R&B songs. In all honesty, I think it's coming back. I mean, not to, go back to my situation, but like I came back after 12, well, I don't know, like it was a long time. And I had a top 10 record, like my first record that I put out in a long time. And from there I had another one and another one and another one and another one consistently. So I think that, people are receptive. People are listening. People want that style of music again. It's just going to take a nice amount of people to do it, which I think at this point we have. There's quite a few R&B artists out here that are doing their thing. So I think at some point, give it about another year or so, I think we're going to get back to where we once used to be in terms of love-making music, music that feeds your soul, timeless music, So just keep listening, man. R&B is back. So for those of you who've said that several times, it's not dead. It's coming back. We're there. We're like a few miles away. Yeah, if y'all want to check me out and support me, follow me on Instagram at jbrownmusiconly. That would be greatly appreciated. I follow back. I don't care about all that crazy stuff. People see you follow, they just like, nah, if you support me, I'm supporting you. So let's get in, man, and do what we do and support each other. So we trying to catch them vibes. My song vibe, here we go with a Let's get it.
Vibe with you, spend all my time with you, ride with you, laugh with you, stay up all night. I wanna vibe with you, girl, you know I ride.
Let's get it.
With you. You know what I want, you be turning me on.
Got me in a daze, make me want to say, babe, that I found something special, yeah. Every day I get the feeling, 'cause you're so damn appealing to me, yeah. The way you move to the beat, it does something to me. So if it feels me, thrills me, knocks me off of my feet. Oh, the way you move to the beat, it does something to me, babe.
If it feels me, thrills me, knocks me off of my feet. I just wanna vibe.
Let's get it.
Vibe with you,
Vibe with you, baby, spend my time with you, yeah.
laugh with you,
Stay up all night, I wanna vibe with you,
girl, you know I ride with you.
You know what I want,
You be turning me on.
baby, now it's time, to make this night unforgettable. I never felt this kind of love from another. We were made for each other. Oh, so the corona showed me that I couldn't wait for another.
You're the only one that I want.
See, you're the only one I want. We are good together. No need to rush things at all. Oh, yeah.
With me tonight. Tonight is all about
Tonight is
vibes.
all about the vibes, yes it is. Hey, hey.
Just groove with me tonight.
Won't you groove
Tonight is
with
all
me?
about vibes.
It goes 1, 2, 3, let's get it.
Vibe with you, vibe with you.
Vibe,
Spend
yeah.
time with you, ride with you, laugh.
Spend all my time,
Stay
spend
up
all my
all
time.
night.
I wanna vibe with you, vibe with you.
Girl, you know I ride with you.
You know what I want, you be turning me on. Said a vibe with you, spend all my time with you, ride with you, laugh with you, stay up all night. I wanna vibe with you, baby.
Girl, you know I ride with you.
You know what I want, you be turning me on. Yeah, you be turning me on, baby. All about them vibes. This is my song Vibe. Again, as mentioned, I come from like the old school, Motown era, so I wanted to do something groovy with this track. It was something that definitely had that backyard feel, when you're with your family, you can just groove and two-step. So that's basically where it came from. I'm from Detroit, so we like groovy type music, so y'all tune in, check it out. I just finished my own headlining tour. That was a pretty good experience. Had my homegirl Mariah there. She's a dope R&B artist. It was a dope experience again because it's my first headlining tour ever. We dropped my deluxe album that came out on the 30th. So y'all be so kind to download that for me, support me. I definitely will support y'all back. And supposed to be heading out on tour with Tank in February. So I got a lot of stuff going on, man. Just staying grounded and staying true to what I know how to do, which is to keep working hard in this music industry. So I just want to stay as consistent as possible because, again, that's key in this industry. So y'all just expect to hear a lot of music from me. I mean, more and more music on a constant basis. But y'all got to make sure y'all check in and check out my new singles, my new albums, because they're out there on all platforms. And I guarantee, man, somebody gonna like it. So just pass the word on and, keep my name alive because I'm going to keep going regardless. Go hard or go home. Simply put, anything you want in life, anything you're trying to achieve, you got to work at it. It's not going to be handed to you. So when it comes to anything, if you want to excel in this industry or anything in life, you got to progressively make it happen because no one's going to do it for you. Someone might, but it only lasts so long. So just stay motivated. If you believe in a higher power, focus on that, if that helps motivate you. But I would strongly suggest just keep going no matter what, especially if you legitimately have talent. My legacy is I want my name to continue on, even when I'm far gone from this earth. I want myself to keep pushing, which I'm gonna continue doing regardless, but I also want to inspire other people. to believe in themselves. Not to sound cliche, but again, if you believe in yourself, there's no, no telling where you can go. You just gotta focus, stay grounded, surround yourself with the right people, great energy always, and just keep believing, At least that's what I'm doing, so I advise y'all to do the same.